Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to another reading excuse me, of the Bible. We are in Daniel. I want to do a little recap before I move on to Daniel 5 and 6 and 7. Daniel 7 is actually the next reading according to the chronological Bible. We had Daniel 4, and then we have Daniel 7. But I will read that another day. So here's the recap. I'm only going to read Daniel chapter 5. So for a recap, let's go back to chapter 1. In chapter 1, Daniel and his three friends, among many others, were taken captive to Babylon. The Assyrians took the Assyrians took, I believe, the northern kingdoms. Babylon took the southern kingdoms. Okay, so in Daniel 1, Jehoiakim was the last king of Judah. Last king of Judah. And he was taken by Nebuchadnezzar. And four young boys were taken among the captives: Daniel, Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah. They were later named Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, and Daniel was given the name Belteshazzar. Okay, so in Daniel 1, straight from Daniel 1, Daniel comes in, and they want a way to assimilate Daniel, the Babylonians. They want a way to assimilate Daniel and his three friends. And so they have the Israelites eat the meat and drink offered to idols. And so Daniel does a test, and Daniel and his three friends end up looking healthier than the rest of the group. So in Daniel 2, Nebuchadnezzar's dreaming dreams. First dream he gets is the dream of the statue. And you read that. And with that, in that dream is a golden statue. And the golden statue, not the golden statue, but the statue with four parts representing four empires. The four empires are Babylon, Medo-Persia, which is Darius and Cyrus, the king of Persia, Greece, which is Alexander the Great, and Rome. And then the final kingdom, represented by the 10 toes, is the 10 kingdoms of Revelation, during the tribulation time. And the boulder that strikes the statue is, of course, the kingdom of God. So we read that in Daniel 3. Nebuchadnezzar makes a golden statue and has everyone bow down to it, and the people and the three friends who refuse to bow down are Azariah, Mishael, Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah. They're given the name Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Daniel is not in this chapter, chapter 3, but as a punishment, they go into the fiery furnace. And while the three friends are in the furnace, the fourth man shows up. And then the boys are released. Oh, that's loud motorbike. Boys are released. Not a hair is singed. Their clothing does not smell like the smoke or the fire. And the fourth man is Jesus, pre-incarnate. Pre-incarnate Jesus in the fiery furnace, the fourth man. That's chapter 3. Chapter 4, we read about the vision of the tree. Hew down that tree. And now we get to chapter 5. And this takes place maybe, 30, 40 years later. The king is humbled. The king, Nebuchadnezzar, is given a crazed mind because he's so pompous and arrogant and prideful of his kingdom that God humbles him, makes him live like an animal for a week, and then he comes back and says, okay, yeah, there's a God of Israel, is the true God. Now we jump forward to who happens to be the grandson of Nebuchadnezzar, Belshazzar. So here is chapter 5 of Daniel. Belshazzar the king made a great feast to 1,000 of his lords and drank wine before the 1,000. Belshazzar, whilst he tasted the wine, commanded to bring the gold and silver vessels which his father, probably his grandfather, Nebuchadnezzar had taken out of the temple which was in Jerusalem, that the king and his princes, his wives, and his concubines might drink therein. Then they brought the golden vessels that were taken out of the temple of the house of God, which was at Jerusalem, and the king and his princes, his wives, and his concubines drank in those vessels. They drank wine and praised the gods of gold, of silver, brass, iron, wood, and stone. In the same hour came forth fingers of a man's hand, and wrote over against the candlestick upon the plaster of the wall of the king's palace. And the king saw the part of the hand that wrote. And the king's countenance was changed, and his thoughts troubled him, so that the joints of his loins were loosed, and his knees smote one against another. The king cried aloud to bring in the astrologers, the Chaldeans, the soothsayers. The king spake and said to the wise men of Babylon, whosoever shall read this writing, and show me the interpretation thereof, shall be clothed with scarlet, and have a chain of gold about his neck, and shall be a third ruler in the kingdom. Then came in all the king's wise men, but they could not read the writing, nor make known to the king the interpretation thereof. Then was King Belshazzar greatly troubled, and his countenance was changed in him, and his lords were astonished. Now the queen, this is his mother or grandmother, now the queen, by reason of the words of the king and his lords, came into the banquet house. And the queen spake and said, O king, live forever. Let not thy thoughts trouble thee, nor let thy countenance be changed. There is a man in thy kingdom in whom is the spirit of the holy gods, plural. And in the days of thy father, grandfather, light and understanding and wisdom, like the wisdom of the gods was found in him, whom the king Nebuchadnezzar, thy grandfather, the king, I say, thy father, made master of the magicians, astrologers, Chaldeans, and soothsayers. For as much as an excellent spirit, and knowledge and understanding, interpreting of dreams, and showing of hard sentences, and dissolving of doubts, were found in the same Daniel, or Daniel, whom the king named Belteshazzar. Now let Daniel be called, and he will show you the interpretation. Then was Daniel brought in before the king. And the king, Belshazzar, brought in, and the king spoke and said unto Daniel, Art thou that Daniel, who are of the children of the captivity of Judah, whom the king, my father, probably the grandfather, brought out of Jerusalem? I have even heard of thee, that the spirit of the gods, small g, plural gods, is in thee, and that light and understanding and excellent wisdom is found in thee. Now the wise men, the astrologers, have been brought in before me, that they should read this writing, and make known unto me the interpretation thereof, but they cannot show the interpretation of this writing. I have heard of thee, that thou canst make interpretations, and dissolve doubts. Now if you cannot read the writing, and make known to me the interpretation thereof, thou shalt be clothed. If you can't, not cannot, but if you can read the writing, and make known to me the interpretation thereof, thou shalt be clothed with scarlet, and have a chain of gold about thy neck, and shalt be the third ruler of the kingdom. Daniel answered and said before the king, Let thy gifts be to thyself, and give thy rewards to another. Yet will I read the writing unto the king, and make known to him the interpretation. O thou king, the Most High God gave Nebuchadnezzar thy father a kingdom, majesty, glory, and honor. For the majesty that he gave him, all people, nations, and languages trembled and feared before him. Whom he slew. That's trembled and feared before him, whom he would slew, and whom he would be kept, and who will be slain, who will be killed, and who will be left alive, whom he will set up, and whom he will put down. But when his heart was lifted up, and his mind hardened in pride, he was disposed from his kingly throne. That was in chapter 4 and 5. Chapter 5. But when his heart lifted up and his mind hardened in pride, he was deposed from his earth's kingly throne, and they took his glory from him. He was driven from the sons of men, and his heart was made like the beasts, and his dwelling was like the wild donkeys, asses. They fed him with grass like oxen, and his body was wet with the dew of heaven, till he knew that the Most High God ruled in the kingdom of men, and that he appointed over it whomever he willed. Thou his son, O grandson, O Belshazzar, hast not humbled thine heart. Thou hast not humbled thy heart, though thou knowest all this, but hast lifted up thyself against the Lord of heaven, and they have brought the vessels of his house before thee, and thou and thy lords, thy wives, and thy concubines, have drunk wine in them, and thou hast praised the gods of silver and gold, of brass, iron, wood, and stone, which see not, nor hear, nor know. And the God in whose hand thy breath is, and whose are thy ways, hast thou not glorified. Then was the part of the hand sent from him, and this writing was written. This is the writing that was written. Mene, tekel, upharsin. This is the interpretation of the thing. of the writing. Mene, God hath numbered, which is probably where we get the word money. Mene, currency, money. God hath numbered that kingdom and finished it. Tekel, thou art weighed in the balances and art found wanting. Perez, or Upharsin. Thy kingdom is divided and given to the Medes and Persians. Then commanded Belshazzar, and they clothed Daniel with scarlet and put a chain of gold about his neck, and made a proclamation concerning him, that he should be the third ruler in the kingdom. On that night was Belshazzar, the king of the Chaldeans, slain. Darius the Median, or the Mede, took the kingdom, being about 62 years old. 62 years old. 62, that's pretty good. So, Belshazzar gets this vision. Actually, not a vision. It's a divine warning. Mene teko Upharsin, or Parez. And then that night, Darius the Mede comes in and kills Belshazzar. So in Daniel 6, we'll probably get Daniel in the lion's den. Daniel 7, which we'll read later. Okay, hold on. Oh, okay. Oh, that's interesting. I'll read chapter 7. So I read chapter 5, chapter 6. In the first year of Belshazzar, king of Babylon, Daniel had a dream, and visions of his head upon his head. Then he wrote the dream and told the sum of the matters. Daniel spake and said, I saw in my vision by night, and behold, the four winds of the heaven strove upon the great sea. Four great beasts came up from the sea, diverse one from another. The first was like a lion, and had eagle's wings. I beheld till the wings whereof were plucked, and it was lifted up from the earth, and made stand upon the feet as a man, and a man's heart was given to it. Behold, another beast, a second, like a bear, and it raised itself on one side, and had three ribs in the mouth of it, between the teeth of it. And they said thus unto it, Arise and devour much flesh. Excuse me. After this I beheld, and lo, another beast. Excuse me. Like a leopard, which had upon the back of it four wings of a fowl. The beast also had four heads, and dominion was given to this beast. After this I saw in the night vision, behold, a fourth beast, dreadful and terrible. Verse 7 of Daniel 7. After this I saw in the night visions, and behold, a fourth beast, dreadful and terrible, and strong and exceedingly. It had great iron teeth that devoured and brake in pieces, and stamped the residue, or the remaining, with the feet of it. And it was diverse from all the beasts that were before it. It had 10 horns. I considered the horn, and behold, there come up among them another little horn, before whom there were three of the first horns plucked up by the roots. And behold, in this horn were eyes like the eyes of man, and the mouth speaking great things. I beheld till the thrones were cast down, and the Ancient of Days did sit, whose garment was white as snow, and the hair of his head was like pure wool. His throne was like the fiery flame, and his wheels as a burning fire. A fiery stream issued and came forth from before him, thousands and thousands ministered unto them, and 10,000 times 10,000 stood before him. The judgment was set, and the books were opened. I beheld then, because of the voice of the great words which the horn spake. I beheld even till the beast was slain, and his body destroyed and given to the burning flame. As concerning the rest of the beasts, they had their dominion taken away, yet their lives were prolonged for a season and a time. I saw in the night visions, and behold, one like the Son of Man, come from the clouds of heaven, and come to the Ancient of Days, and they brought him near before him. And there was given him dominion, glory, and a kingdom, that all people, nations, and languages should serve him. His dominion is an everlasting dominion, which shall not pass away, and his kingdom that which shall not be destroyed. I, Daniel, was grieved in my spirit in the midst of my body, and the visions of my head troubled me. I came near unto one of them that stood by, and asked him the truth of all this. So he told me, and made me know the interpretation of the things. These great beasts which are four kings, which shall arise out of the earth. But the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom, and possess the kingdom forever, even forever and ever. Then I would know the truth of the fourth beast, which was diverse from all the others, exceedingly dreadful, whose teeth were of iron, and his nails of brass, which devoured, brake in pieces, and stamped the residue with his feet. And of the 10 horns that were in his head, and of the other which came up, the little horn, and before whom 3 fell, even of that horn that had eyes, and the mouth that spake very great things, whose look was more stout than his fellows. I beheld, and the same horn made war with the saints, and prevailed against them, until the Ancient of Days came, and judgment was given to the saints of the Most High, and the time came to that the saints possess the kingdom. Thus he said, the fourth beast shall be the fourth kingdom upon the earth, which shall be diverse from all kingdoms, and shall devour the whole earth, and shall tread it down, and break it in pieces. The 10 horns out of his kingdom are 10 kings that shall arise, and another shall arise after them. And he shall be diverse from the first, and he shall subdue 3 kings. He shall speak great words against the Most High, and shall wear out of the saints of the Most High, and think to change times and laws, and they shall be given into his hand until a time and times and the dividing of time. That's 3.5 years. But the judgment shall sit, and they shall take away his dominion, to consume and to destroy it until the end. The kingdom and dominion and the greatness of the kingdom under the whole heaven shall be given to the people of the saints of the Most High, whose kingdom is an everlasting kingdom, and all dominions shall serve and obey him. Hitherto is the end of the matter. For as for me, Daniel, my cogitations much troubled me, and my countenance changed in me. But I kept the matter in my heart. So, who is the fourth beast and who is the little horn? I believe the little horn, if you know eschatology, the little horn, eschatology prophecy, the little horn is the Antichrist. And the fourth beast is also possibly Antichrist. Because the 10 kingdoms will be the 10 horns will be the 10 kingdoms, like the 10 toes of the statue in Nebuchadnezzar's dream. The little horn is the Antichrist in Revelation. The fourth beast, I believe, is also a form of Antichrist. The 4 kings. There's Nebuchadnezzar, the Medo-Persian king. Cyrus the Great was a king. Alexander wasn't really a king. He was a conqueror more than a king. And there was King Herod, but he was a little king. Not little, but he was more of a assigned king, a puppet king, to Caesar and the Emperor of Rome. The last king is, I believe, Antichrist. Just like the little horn is Antichrist, who blasphemes God. But his kingdom is taken away by the Ancient of Days, and that's God the Father and Jesus Christ. And that kingdom will last forever. So that is what Daniel 7 is talking about. I hope you enjoyed this reading, these readings. I'll get to Daniel 6 at a later time. And I hope you enjoy the reading of the book. This is Daniel 5 and Daniel 7. Hope you enjoyed it. Bye-bye.